I would say some of the mistaken beliefs or self-limiting beliefs is I'm already charging as much as I can. If I charge more, I'll lose customers or I'll lose sales volume. I'm doing the best I can in the face of market conditions. Customers doing X, competitors doing Y. Terrified of raising prices. They're afraid that the cliff is, if I raise my prices by 2%, now there's a cliff, like there is a possible range. Anybody can charge for anything. You can't, you can bake the world's best gluten-free raisin bread. You can't charge $150 a loaf for it. But where people believe that cliff is, where they're going to lose all their business, and where the cliff actually is in two very different places. So really, there's just a ton of fear-based decision making around pricing. If you line up 100 business owners or 100 salespeople, 100 people involved in sales in any way, and you say, what do you love about selling and serving your customers? Zero people out of 100 would say, I cannot wait to tell them the price tag. It is the funnest part. It's like not the fun part. It's the hard
Right.
part. It's the part that most people dread. They love
Right.
building relationships and being the hero and solving problems and connecting with their customers. And they don't love that part. And so even for really accomplished, successful sellers, including CEOs who've, founder led sales departments or whatever, um, it tends to be an area of relatively less comfort and confidence. And so even when they're, a premium player, they're often not charging as much as they could. So you see a lot of fear-based decisions. You see not confidence, rooted in fear, not confidence, pricing not to lose, like this really defensive strategy, pricing
Yeah.
not to lose rather than pricing to win, not putting off price increases for far too long, negotiating against ourselves, caving into price pressure against inferior competition, um, all that kind of, just that, and it just piles up to a lot of money that isn't sitting in our bank account, that's sitting in our customer's bank account because we got afraid and we're afraid to hold the line.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a I mean, one more I even thought of, maybe it might have been in your list. Said a little differently, but I feel like a lot of folks, even founders, but also bigger businesses, they delay pricing conversations, which ultimately, they're way too late in the game. They haven't talked budget. Like they think if
Right.
I wait longer and then I
Right.
throw this massive proposal, why did they ghost me? Why didn't they?
Yeah.
But I think that's a big reason too, right?
Yeah. It's not a conversation very many people are comfortable with. And so what's interesting about that is I'm tempted to say it's something they're not very skilled at, but I don't think the real issue is skill generally. Generally, skill is not the problem with pricing. It's not to say that we can't get better at asking more questions or communicating value or handling objections or other skill based things. But the biggest obstacle is our own mindset, our own fears, our the hidden underlying obstacles of our habits, attitudes, beliefs, emotions, fears, self-limiting beliefs that stop us from executing on our skill. So we may have the skill to confidently, or that we may have the skill to, we know what to do, what to say, what process to follow, but in the moment, in the heat of battle, when the customer's threatening to, buy from our competition, we won't do what we've been trained to do or taught what we, say what we've been taught to do. We'll get in our head, we'll get in our gut, we'll feel pushy, we'll feel salesy, we'll feel weird, and we'll
Mhm.
discount.